is now time to explain to people just what's wrong with me. Yay!
Texting to speech, property, comedy, philosophy inside of me, eulology, astronomy. Stand by me when you're not strong and I'll be your friend to ask you for some coupons. This is not a song, but before I bring it and you dig it, let me try to make it in this world before you pull the rug underneath. Piglet wonders of life and what's in outer space and what not to take in this race called life. I could have ended though with a proper goodbye, but before I go I want to let all of you know a voice and a text-to-speech void. Why so serious? From the dark night, my favorite saying, from the darkness always comes light, bright sight. I got to stop with being so light. I told you the second verse is going to get worse. So before you grab your purse and donate to your own Hearst drug addiction verse, don't let me keep you from hitting that like button like a thief, while you sit there staring, comparing, casing each house and figuring out which one is the little mouse with the cheese. And I don't mean cheddar, I mean cash next to the drawer where you keep the ugly sweaters. I'm so out of order they should throw me in court. Sidebar, I always use pry bars when I use my brain to write down these insane mind jars of pickling disdain. Maintain an upright position, this plane is going down in a charted non-geographical position. Third verse, this one I will spank it out of the multiverse. Fuck, I am bored. Be back for the next Bebop. Bebop, Publicious, by Felicia. She'll know how to treat to a delicious Felicious podcast show. To your man's Jimmy James, the insane comedy show. So come with me on this comedy tour, you fucking comedy whores. And like always, take care of yourselfs and one another. Truly yours, Jimmy James, the truth shall endure.
Before we get into today's show, it's going to be a long one, by the way. This is probably going to be one of the longest podcasts I've done. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I got some special stuff. But before I do anything of any sort of activities, I have to let you in on a secret. The secret is, why would you name your episode Rule 8? So anyway, this is the story. That was pretty much a kill time spot right there. Kill time slot, because I didn't feel like hitting the stop button and record and erase. Alright. This is why I named this Rule 8. I was watching something and then I just start writing things down because I can't keep my head in one place. Rule 1. Not Rule 1. There's no rules. It's not like that. It's just number 1, number 2. It doesn't matter. Enjoy the little things. That's what I mean by that. Now, that saying's not mine, right? That's number 1. Enjoy the little things. You guys all heard that, right? So then I went ahead and made a total of 8. Well, 7 more of my own sayings. So the second one is number 2. Your wisdom will get you far in life. The how to things will get you even further. Truth will bring you peace. But most of all, knowing everything will only tempt you to know one more thing. I don't know, that was it. That's pretty much all I had. This is my wisdom and maturity here, folks. Number 3, believe nothing you... By the way... never mind. I was gonna get into the whole thing. I noticed I've said folks, and then... weirdly or oddly enough, I heard that Biden, the dude who fucking, I don't know, fell chasing a dog or something because he was naked. I don't know, something happened, like, why would you jump out of a shower to chase a dog? Or, I don't know. That's an old story still. Weird things going on there. Believe nothing you hear and half of what you see. I know I didn't make that up. My grandfather told that to me, so I remembered it. There's a lot of things both my grandfathers did. I talked about that before. So this is one I made up. If this brings you, meaning this in any content, if this brings you happiness, then you must do this in order to keep the happiness. So whatever it is in life that brings you happiness, okay? This is simple, but there's a little bit of a twist in there. If this brings you happiness, you must do this in order to, it was like to keep or to hold, but to keep the happiness. I actually had to evolve your happiness, but I switched it up. So, I mean, that's common sense, right? But so is, like, enjoy the little things. It's just a deeper meaning. Enjoy the little things. Like, oh yeah, but do you really say it to yourself? And you're only saying that probably when you're fucked up, right? Anyway, getting on. So I'll say that one more time. Believe nothing you hear and have what you see. And then I said, if this, which means any content, if this brings you happiness, then you must do this in order to keep the happiness. Number 5 gets a little bit more complex. Giving and taking advice, strategy, whatever gets you through the night. Take this. I'm sorry, I have to reread that. It's my writing is so hard to read. Giving and taking advice, strategy, whatever gets you through the night. Then take this. Do it is what you like, what you might, your faith, faith, believe, achieve, succeed, make it concrete in your bones in this moment, for there is only one, and for this you will only get, for this will only get you. See, there's like, the TV's on. I'm going to have to read this again because I fucked this up. Giving and taking advice, strategy, whenever gets, God, I can't say this. Giving and taking advice, strategy, whatever gets you through the night. Then take this to what it is. See the way I have it? Take this and do what it is you like, might, faith, believe, achieve, succeed. Make it concrete in your bones in this moment, for there is only one, and for this will only get you closer to that wisdom of what feels right. It's your life. Basically what I'm saying there is that wisdom we were talking about. I'll get to it. That was number 5. Believe, achieve, succeed, make it concrete in your bones in this moment, for there is only one, and for this will only get you closer to that wisdom of what it feels right. It's your life. Number 6. If we keep at this is about world talk. I just hope you can connect the dots here. I didn't know I was doing it until it was done. And sorry that I rhyme everything. This is the way I am. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I do, but I'd say 99% of the times I do. If we keep at this, at the same pace, then as a single species, we will never leave this place. Only in death we shall see what we have always missed. And I put IDK, like, I don't know if I like that. I was struggling there at the end, because usually I write really quickly. So I was like, if we keep, now you gotta remember when I'm writing this, I'm not like any kind of, told you, not special with words. But in my head, they're always, right? It's constantly going, universe full of information. If we keep at this, at the same pace, then as a single species, we will never leave this place. Only in death we shall see what we have always missed. And I was thinking about like titling these, and I'm thinking like I just wanted the title Human Race, like the human race. I don't know yet. I'm still up in the air. Number 7. Life and death. Only one is... Sorry. Dark. It's too dark right there. Number 7. Life and death. Only one is... What the fuck? Oh, here we go. I lost my thing there. I have shit scribbled out. Life and death, only one is certain. There's no room for middle ground when facing annihilation. And that was it. That's pretty much it. This is it. This is number 8. This is it. The start to the end. In the meantime, no more pretend. Okay. What I was getting on there, and I didn't even really realize it, I didn't fully realize it, I was getting more into the world talk again, and I wasn't trying to, these aren't sayings like enjoy the little things. Some of them were, but that's why, like, when I write something down, I am thorough. Like, I go nuts. Like, I don't care about spelling. Spelling doesn't have to be correct, but I have to have that meaning behind it. Sometimes I put so much twist and turns into something, and I don't even realize it's like sometimes straying off a little bit, or it might go over your head. For example, I remember I was doing Audiolab Pro, and I was doing this text-to-speech thing, and it's just easier for me. You know, I could speak into it, but mostly I'm texting, and then it just comes out, whatever. Let me give you guys an example. And I'm like, damn, that's actually pretty good. Like, for me, you know, for somebody who doesn't do this shit for a living, like, I don't make money doing this, you know what I mean? I'm not talking about podcasts, I'm talking about recording shit. So, anyway, I wish I just had my list of shit. Isn't that here? I thought I would just have like a list, like my shit. Why do I gotta go somewhere? What's like, you know, I'm trying to get to the part where, you know, I could just see my songs, or whatever they're called, songs. This is for like songs. Okay. Tag editor? I don't know what the fuck that is. Okay, who knows? I'm out of control. What's the most recent? I think that's the most recent.
I am out of control. Out of ad or all. Play ball.
Here it is. You guys heard this. Listen, you gotta listen to this on...
I am out of control.
You gotta listen to this on the last podcast episode I made. Who knows?
Who knows? Knowing I am out of control. Out of ad or all. Play ball.
Now, Adderall, that's not Adderall, like the pill. Like, but I'm talking about that, but I'm not. But that's not the example I'm trying to get to.
Stand tall. Like a wall. Mark. All blar. Retard. Regards. To my many followers. To me. 3 bars.
Like, that's the thing I'm talking about there, right there. This is what I mean, like, that might go over your head.
Guards. To my many.
Here.
Play ball. Stand tall. Like a wall. Mark. All blard. Retard. Regards. To my many followers.
Took me 3 bars.
To rhyme that.
It took me 3 bars to rhyme that, and I wasn't talking about lyrical bars. I was talking about something else.
Back, relax, and who knows where this will go, where we will end up. Let's start up. It was all part of this text.
And when I said, I'm not getting into this, but I said, let's start up, or, let's start.
Let's start up.
Let's start up, and I was trying to think, like, how could I put, like some sort of startup company, like Apple, or like Steve Jobs.
It was all part of this text-to-speech art. Get it? Lips. Like in a...
So, I couldn't really put anything in there, and I'm like, fuck, I couldn't fit it in there, and, I could go back. I listened to this. This one's only 3 minutes and 15 seconds, but it's like... damn, I'm not saying it's good. I'm basically getting to the point to where, like, it's becoming, it's fun to write and then hear it back, and I put it faster than I've ever did any other ones. Usually I slow it down, you know, and it sounds this fast.
Eventually you'll get this. ABC 123.
ABC 123. That was for, like, Michael Jackson, the Jackson 5, how they started out, and they weren't known until they were Jackson 5.
Most of you never heard of me.
And that's what I said. Most of you never heard of me.
Easy-E.
Easy-E.
Drum roll, please.
Easy-E. Drum roll, please. If you don't know who Easy-E was, you know what I mean? Like, that's the whole point. Go look him up. You know what I mean? He's still one of the most respected artists of all time, and most of these kids don't even know who the fuck he is. And that wasn't me comparing myself with him. Anyway, I'm getting way off topic. Alright, so getting back to weird shit. Like I told you before, I told this on another podcast, but the reason why I got into words is my grandfather said one time, this is all I know, I'll tell the story one more time, it's not really a long story at all. I'm sure I won't make it long. He was a cop, you know, a detective or whatever, a cop, and he would sit around, you know, talk all day, shoot the shit or whatever when they're not working. You know, because, I mean, being the cop is literally sitting around waiting for crime and doing shit and taking care of things. But, it's not always action. If he heard a word he didn't hear, he wouldn't ask somebody, what does that mean? As far as my knowledge goes, like, what does that word mean? Unless it was probably exotic or something. But, and like, so then he would go, this is back dictionary days. You know what I mean? Long time ago. 40s and 40s, 50s, yeah, 40s, 50s, yeah. So, dictionary, and then he would look it up, and then he would know what that word meant. And then, I mean, I remember doing that. I was about 16, and I remember hearing the word turmoil, and I went and looked it up. And I looked it up, I think it was in a dictionary. So this is like going to be the second, I think I'm done everything on my little to-do list. So this is going to be the second part of the podcast. Is, shit. I totally forgot. Yeah, I'm going to tell you guys think like, somebody hearing this for the first time, not to get to know me better, but I'm going to explain to you, like, what have I seen in my lifetime. And before I get into that, next podcast coming up is going to be podcasting 8 through 10, which I haven't even started it yet, so that's going to be coming up. I might throw out like a trailer or some shit. Anyway, so before I get into that, stay tuned for the next part of Rule 8, which is me and what we've grown up into in the past 40 years. 39 for me, and I actually sat back and went, wow, I remember what an 8-track was. Barely, but I remember. Be right back. Alright. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jimmy James. And this show is called Rule 8. You're going to find out. But before we get into that, let me take you down something interesting. See, from time to time, I use Wikipedia or the dictionary. I found something called the 10 most difficult words in English. Let me say that again. The 10 most difficult words in English. I will not kid you, and I'm not lying. You can look this up. Let me just read you this short little thing here, or a short paragraph. English can be a real pest, and even native speakers find themselves stumbling over some... this is the why I wanted to read this. stumbling over some stubbornly tricky words, like the way they put it in there. Stumblerlin. Is that like, I don't know. Stubbornly tricking. Yeah, never mind. So let me read that again. Start it over. English can be a real pest, and even native speakers find themselves, it's fucking me up, themselves stumbling over I can't do it. Stubbornly tricky words. Sometimes they're difficult to understand. Other times they've been misused so often that their original meaning has got lost. Oh God, pronunciation. See, I'm good. I always say I'm not a wordsmith. I am really not. I suck at it. I'm like good at putting them together because I need to know what the meaning is. So anyway, been misused so often that their original meaning has gotten lost. Pronunciation can also be a problem. As a follow-up to our article on confusing words, here are 10 of the most difficult words in English. Number 1, literally. Literally. I am literally speaking to you. Okay? That is the literally I mean. Let me explain why this word is number 1 of the top 10, I guess. I don't know. If you know a language, I had to read this before, so I didn't mess it up too bad. And I could have did text-to-speech as like, fuck it. I'll literally do this myself. I have not even gotten down to the second one yet, and I'm like, fuck, this is going on my podcast, literally. I use this word all the time. If you know a language purist, now that's how I first said it. I'm like, purist, because I'm not used to saying that word. If you know a language purist, watch out. Misuse of this word has been known to raise people's blood pressures. Literally means in a literal sense, or what I am saying is not imagined, but truly happened as I'm saying it. Therefore, uses like, I literally died laughing, or he was so embarrassed his cheeks literally burned up, are not correct. Because literally what they're saying is you didn't die laughing, otherwise you wouldn't be telling that story, literally, right? Okay, and his cheeks literally burned up, okay? There you go. That is impossible, okay? I mean, because he was so embarrassed. Like, yeah, your cheeks can get red, but he's saying that wrong. He was so embarrassed, his cheeks literally burned up. Now, you could say it again. He was so embarrassed, his cheeks literally lit up red, or, lit up, but not burned up. But we get it. Now, this wouldn't bother me. I don't know why this is. If you're a language purist, misuse of this word has been known to raise people's blood pressure. Okay. The rest of this is, interestingly, because of the sheer reach of its incorrect use, the Oxford English Dictionary has included an informal use for literally, allowing it as a tool to give emphasis, like in the above examples. Just don't tell the grammar police. It was a joke. That wasn't me. That was actually what I'm reading. So, yeah. So, when you use the word literally next time, just remember, don't use it incorrectly. Okay, the second word. I don't know why. This is why this like little short bonus podcast. ironic. 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 Okay? Here, this is what they say about it. Here is a word that has confused almost all English speakers, native or otherwise. No, really, we could write a whole course on using irony correctly. That's what they have like in, not quotes, for like a side note thing. You have to fuck it. I'll come back with that. So they said, no, we could write a whole course on using irony correctly. Why irony is often understood to mean a concept. This is me reading for the first time. I should have did a pre-read. Hold on. Understood to mean, I hope this is still recording, 'cause I'll be pissed. See, I'm doing this over Adobe. I usually don't do Adobe and like read stuff, but whatever. Understand, mean a coincidence. Okay, here we go. While irony is often understood to mean a coincidence or strange turn of events that in itself doesn't cover its full meaning. Here's those little thingies. In fact, as Alanis Morissette's famous song, Ironic, Alanis Morissette's, like that's what they're saying, okay, famous song, Ironic, she has a song, with around 10 poor examples of irony, shows us coincidences and unfortunate events aren't enough. While the concept, this is not really much longer, this is about the last thing. While the concept of irony is extremely multi-layered, at its most simple, the way I'm reading this, layered. At its most simple, it's a way to use words to express the opposite of their literal meaning. However, unlike sarcasm, which also does this, irony is not intended to hurt. But wait, there's also dramatic irony, situational irony, historical irony. See, if I pre-read something, then I could talk and speak like I'm saying it for the first time, which sounds stupid, right? But yeah, you guys got me live doing this. There's also dramatic irony, situational irony, historic irony, historical irony, and others. Oh man. Quotation mark, like. So what do you do in the face of such confusion? One option is to let it go. Truthfully, irony is not an essential ingredient to, I gotta get this closer. Oh, there it is. Ingredient to regular day, and no one will think badly of you if you don't use the word at all. Okay. Before I go into the next, was it 8 here? I'm gonna, if you probably already know this, but I'm gonna list off the 10 words ahead of time, and then I'll go back and do this. And I'm gonna do this in real time. Like, I should have did a pre-read, or, we call in the biz a cold call. Like, basically, I actually just thought of that word. I didn't know that was a real thing, by the way. A cold call, where you call somebody for a podcast and you say, hey, this is going to be the topic, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I guess it's a cold call. But it's not a good thing, because sometimes you sit there and you talk and like, wait, this should be on the podcast. So anyway, jumping back into this. So we got literally and ironic. Okay. I'll give you the story on why I'm doing these words in a minute, but let's go to number 3. Let's write this down too. Like an idiot. I already told some of this story. Pops. I know what that means. I've had to write that down. You guys who don't know me, my grandfather got me into this. Anyway, here's number 3. This is the first time I'm seeing this. Instead of regardless. Okay. Oh, when somebody says you're regardless. irregardless. You might have heard people. Okay, irregardless. Irregardless, yeah. So like it's hard to say like when you're looking at it. IRREGARDLESS instead of regardless. Okay, I use this word a lot, and I'm sure you're saying to yourself, "Well, so do I." But regardless, anyway, let me explain the rest of this. You might have heard people use irregardless. Irregardless. What is? I'm trying to think of like a fucking sentence here. Let me read this. Use irregardless when they mean to say regardless. Regardless means without regret or despite of something. He maxed out his credit card regardless of the consequences and is perfectly capable. But despite what you think, but despite what you might think, irregardlessly, I don't know what they're saying. It's like, but it's irregardless isn't a symptom. It's a synonym. This is why I'm bad. This is why I wanted to do it like live, and then I'll have to go back and do it. But anyway, a synonym. Alright, it isn't a irregardless isn't a synonym. I could say it, but I can't because I'm fucking Jersey, Philly mutt. A synonym. See, this is why I'm bad. Because of its double negative, the prefix means not, and suffix less means without. It means not without regard, which is actually the opposite of what its users intended. What a headache. Yeah, I know. So remember, while irregardless appears in dictionaries, it's listed as a non-standard word. It means that although it technically exists, it shouldn't be thrown up by people who'd like to learn and use English well. I am one of them people. I can't spell or read that good, but I like to use words. That's what I meant by like I'm not a wordsmith. But maybe I should take that back. Irregardless, like it's like that. I don't really use that, but I understand. I've heard that. But I've used regardless a lot, but irregardless, I don't think I've ever used that one. I'm trying to think, like, how would you use it in a sentence? See, regarding somebody or something. Okay, I don't know. Get into this later. Anyway, the next one's funny. This is only number 4. Whom, like, whom do you trust? WHOM, just spelling it just in case you're a retard like me. Who knew such a little word could be so confusing? In English, we use who, WHO, to refer to a sentence, subject, and whom, like Stewie, whom, to its object, oh my god, to its object, yes. But how can you tell which one you need? Try answering your own question with him or he. If he could be the answer, whom is the word. Handy trick with both words. Oh, here's a handy trick. Both words end in M. Okay, so answering your own question with him or he. So if there's a group of 3 guys, let's say one of them committed a murder, you don't say who was the first one at the crime. Whom? No, is that I'm trying to do my own goddamn definition. Whom? And no, I think you got to be talking to somebody else, not to them directly. You would turn to your partner and go, okay, out of them, or you would say out of them, whom of them, right? Is that how you do it? Yeah, but which one of them was the first one here? Which one? Yeah, but whom was the first one here? But who was the first one here? Whom? Who knew such a little word could be? Yeah, it's confusing. But it says, try answering your own question with him or he. If him couldn't be the answer. Okay. Him could be the answer. Okay. And it says, little trick, both words end in M. Whom? Whom is the killer? Whom is the killer in this room? It is a thriller sitting here telling you, for example, whom are you going to Brazil with? Would you answer with him or with he? You choose him. So whom is correct? Okay, here's an example. Who or whom? This is driving me fucking nuts. Are you going to Brazil with? You. Like, would you answer with him or with he? With him, right? You choose him. So whom is correct? Okay, there's the example. Just the example. So you don't go like, if you're talking to your buddy who might be going with two people are there and you're taking one of them to Brazil, you would say, who are you taking? Whom are you taking to Brazil? You would say whom, not who. That's the proper way to say that. Okay. I spent way too much time on that one. This one drove me nuts when I growing up. Okay, before I even tell you this is number 5. This is a I can't stand this word, but there's unknown reasons. Not just this word I'm about to say. This is a pronunciation bungle for many students. Yes. Okay? Because when you say it, it does not sound like it. Alright? When you look at this word, meaning a rank of a officer in the army. You guys know what I mean, right? No, not a fucking captain. No, a colonel. Colonel. There's no silent R. Maybe it's silent. It's not there. What do they call it? It's something silent and it's not there. I forget that. But anyway, let's read it. So number 5 is colonel. When I first seen this word, I was like, that's how you spell colonel? Like, I would have never... Come on. This pronunciation bungle of many... this is a pronunciation bungle for many students. When you look at this word meaning a rank of officer in the army, you might think it's pronounced C-O-L-O-N-E-L. Okay? And who could blame you? It's not so simple, however, as it's pronounced. Colonel, K-E-R-N-E-L. That's how it sounds. Or like corn, right? Colonel. If you told me to spell colonel before, for some reason, I always saw a C in my head. And this is not, like I said, you guys hear me now. I can't spell and talk for shit. And this is ADHD. And I don't want to read. The only reason why I'm doing this is because I'm sharing my ADHD with you. Okay, so it would sound like colonel, K-E-R-N-E-L, or corn, C-O-R-N, whatever. But how did colonel end up being spelled like that? Here we go. Actually, I don't know this. Well, it's an old tale. It's an old tale of word borrowing across history. Colonel, I already know where this is going. Colonel came from the French, who had originally borrowed it from the Italian, after which they changed a letter, colonel, so it used to be C-O-R-O-N-E-L. That was C-O-R-O-N-E-L. Then English pinched the word for itself, before finally both the French and the English switched back to its original browse spelling. I'm sorry, see, I'm reading too fast. Switched back to its original borrowed spelling, and the English to a whole new pronunciation. Whew. That's what it says, literally. Whew. Okay. Before we jump into number 6, I'm going to take this minute to let you guys hear why I use Anchor as my main podcasting platform. Be right back. Hey, what's up, guys? And we're back. Just a quick shout out, The Witcher next season starting December 17th, if anybody's interested. Alright, so let's jump back into whatever the hell I was just trying to do. I had to listen to some of that because it was uploading and my brain was hurting. So, this is going to be like the raw dog version, and then I'm going to go back and do the right way, the fast way, where you guys are actually interested, not just, maybe I'll just do a blooper fucking thing. I don't know. Let's go. Number 6 is nonplussed? Feeling a bit nonplussed after our brief trip through linguistic history? It's certainly possible we arrived at our 6th difficult word. Another where a sneaky prefix is the culprit, because the prefix non means not. Some people misuse nonplussed as unfazed or uninterested. In reality, nonplussed means bewildered or at a loss of what to think. Unfortunately, their word is so often... their word... I don't know, their word is so... What do you mean, their word? That's what it says. Their word is... I thought I was saying it wrong. It says, alright, bewildered. I'm sorry, and I said that wrong. I don't know if I said belittled or bewildered, or at a loss of what to think. Unfortunately, their word is so often used in both ways that, at least in written English, it's often difficult to understand which meaning the writer intended. Nonplussed. I honestly don't use that word. Yeah, so I guess this word means, unfazed or uninterested. But there's no, in reality, nonplussed means bewildered or at a loss of what to think. Unfortunately, their word is so often used. I don't know. Nonplussed. Alright, I don't know what that word, I never heard that word, yeah. Sometimes I think, if I don't know a word, and I tell you, I'll get to the story at the end of this, or wherever I throw this in at, I'll have to edit this one a lot. I'll tell you the reason why I got into this shit, and why I could have just copied and pasted this and put it in Audiolab Pro, and had the computer say it real nice and slow. But, I thought it would be funnier for me, because you're hearing it fresh for the first time, and then I'll do a more professional, or I'll try to do a more professional start of this. Okay. I'm calling this Rule 8. I guess we'll find out in a little bit why. Alright, let's get to number 7. Shut the fuck up. Get to number 7. Imagine you're in court. What kind of judge would you like on your case? A disinterested or
You stupid.
Okay, I don't want to tell you the word, so that's why I want to see if you guys can see where I'm going with this. Imagine you're in court. What kind of judge would you like on your case? A disinterested or uninterested judge? I hope you choose the former, while an uninterested judge would be yawning and flicking through their phone. A disinterested judge would be far more likely to hear all sides of your case and rule objectively. Remember, someone who is, and this is the word, someone who is disinterested. Remember, before I said a disinterested and a uninterested. There's disinterested. That's number 7, disinterested. Someone who is disinterested is not biased and doesn't take sides. Whereas, that's a weird way to spell it. Whereas an uninterested person is not interested in something in the first place. And that's it. Disinterested. I always use uninterested. This person is just uninterested. I don't think I've ever used this person's disinterested. Yeah. I would say he is very yeah. He's just disinterested. Yeah, it's not, I wouldn't use that word. I could tell you right now, and I'm not looking at it. I'm trying to look away without looking at words because it fucks in my head. So, he's very disinterested. Now, I would very say he's very uninterested. Yeah, I would use uninterested. Yeah, fuck it. Let's get to number 8. Number 8. Oops. I hit the sign up for me button. Before I tell you, okay, I got the word. Let's see. I'm going to tell you number 8 in a second. I'm going to read a little bit. There's one. Let me read this again. This one's a biggie. It seems simple enough. Enormity. That is the word. I really couldn't. I had to read a little bit, but there's nothing in there for you. A clue. Enormity. 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 I'm just thinking the enormity of things are incredible here. Or this place, no. The amount of people, no, I don't know how to use, I'm trying to think how to use enormity. Anyway, here we go. One's a biggie. It seems simple enough. Enormity is so close to enormous that they must be, oh God, since I can't say it. They must be, God, I know the word, I just can't say it. Not synonyms. I always say cinnamon or synonyms. I would have to hear it. This is when I would say, or ask the Google to say the word, but it won't record it. So, they must be, synonyms. Right. Wrong? Right. Right? Question mark. Wrong. Enormity means extreme evil of the toe-curling medieval history of ruthless dictator kind. Therefore, the exceptional, commonly used expression, the enormity of the situation, is incorrect. Yeah, makes sense. Unless, in fact, you're actually talking about an act of evil, which we hope you aren't. I think they kind of put these little jokes in there at the end. It's just okay, wow, here's another one. I was actually thinking about this, but I was thinking, this is number 9. The word is lieutenant. And remember we had colonel. When I was thinking of this, I wasn't thinking of lieutenant. I was thinking of brigadier. I don't know why that stuck out to me. Anyway, you gotta remember, this list that I'm reading is the 10 most difficult words in English. So we are at number 9, lieutenant. Another military term to confuse us. This one is an example of different pronunciations across the pond, or between the US and the UK. In British English, the word is pronounced lieutenant, whereas in the United States you'll hear lieutenant. You'll hear lieutenant instead of lieutenant. Okay, while both locations have kept the same spelling, just to make it interesting, the U.S. pronunciation is heard increasingly often in other English-speaking countries. That's it. Listen, if each word was really long, like there's long paragraphs and meanings behind it, I wouldn't be doing this. So number 10 is, by the way, I want to say lieutenant. Yeah, I've always known that. They say lieutenant in the UK. But lieutenant, I was trying to do I just realized when I was doing an accent, it sounded nothing like an English accent. I always think of Sean Connery. This is me, Sean Connery, coming at you between a rock and a hard place. I was a lieutenant in the army, but I don't really do him when I do English. Hey, good day then, mate. Yeah, I was pissing over there. Or I do the Beatles, like more Liverpoolish. With the Beatles. He's a lieutenant. I don't think get into that. Alright, number 10. Number 10. The guy was in a brown coat. But when he was flashing people, he had boxers on. So he didn't even know how to flash right. Flash. Go down. It's a miracle. Alright, here we go. Number 10 is I don't know, what? Is it Unabashed? Wait. Unbashed? UNABASHED. Unabashed. Wait, Unabashed. Okay, let me read it. It's really short. What's the prefix doing on the unfamiliar word like abash? Well, while abash does exist, it means to embrace or perplex. It hasn't been widely used for centuries. That's why I couldn't say probably. The negative version, unabashed. So it's not unabashed, it's unabashed. I don't know why I was thinking that. But anyway, unabashed, on the other hand, is used today and means not embraced. So next time you're practicing your English, speak with unabashed enthusiasm. Okay. Alright, so that's pretty much it. That's the top 10 most difficult words to say in English. This was by Erin. That's it. By Erin in Language Learning. 4-minute read. I turned that into like 40 minutes. Last updated 11/16/21. So that was pretty much the most updated one. I've been feeling now it's gone. Whoa. What's up, guys? This is Jimmy James, the host of the Jimmy James Show. First and foremost, this was fucking some cool news. Well, I guess it's whatever. I was, fucking around on YouTube listening to music. I usually don't do it that way. Going to Spotify. And I ran into, this artist, Dax, D-A-X. And I listened to his fucking 20-minute, he had a 20-minute song. Like, I don't know why I usually don't click on that type of shit, you know? Like, I'll give somebody a chance, like, to listen to. And the beat, like, I don't know, maybe I just wasn't in the mood for music, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, alright, the beat's alright. He comes out, like, I didn't know it was 20 minutes at this point. And I'm just like, alright. Like, 30 seconds in, I'm like, alright. Like, I'm listening to it just a little bit. Then you know when somebody's good, when you gotta, this is how I know when somebody's good. Or, you might do the same thing. You gotta, like, go back and listen to it. Like, so I had to keep skipping back, like, 3 or 4 times, you know, like, when you use, like, the tectonic plates. Anyway, he had some really good shit. The beat got better. Like, you got more into the beat. But it wasn't really about the beat. It was the whole flow to it. So I'm giving him a fucking shout out. That's Dax, D-A-X. Yeah, I guess I can let you, he's on Spotify, so I can let you, hear a little bit of that. I'll try to add it in. But, yeah, 20-minute song. Fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous 20 minutes. It's called The Next Rap God 2, DAX. I think I hit him up. The whole point of that fucking story was, I hit him up on the YouTube, and I said, started out slow, then he came, like, wasn't really trying to rap or anything. You guys know how I do it, right? Like, on my show, I fucking type bullshit in, and, try to rhyme and shit, funny stuff. Long story short, I was like, hey, he started out slow, something, like, it wasn't really long, it was only like 2 lines long. And I was like, hi, I'm a white guy, fucking loved it, or whatever. I said straight fire. I don't have it in front of me what I said, so, plus, like, there's alerts going off. So then I said that, I liked it, and that was that. And then he actually is one of those artists out there. He's pretty well known. I looked him up and shit, and he hearted me back, or maybe his people did. I don't know how that works. It's like, I'm not a YouTube guy. I mean, I figured it'd be his channel. So then after he did that, I was like, you know what? I'll share his shit. I shared it with a buddy of mine, and then I shared it on like my social. So it's probably there somewhere. Anyway, I mean, it's not really The Next Rap God 2 by DAX Stacks. Okay, let me answer this text. Hey, sorry, was that Docs? Sorry, I was answering the text and I didn't feel like pausing that for 4 minutes to upload. And you're probably still, I'll just take that out. This is me trying to answer text. And I switched the fucking fonts on my phone. Yeah. So it's like weird. Like, I like the way the fonts are, and I forgot that, like, kind of knew, but I kind of forgot that it goes on everything, like anything you do on your phone. Alright, so where am I at here? So yeah, that's music. I haven't put out anything in like a week because I was waiting. I'm like gathering up a week worth of bullshit that I'm going through. I don't know what else is there to talk about. I watched, maybe that's why I didn't. I was watching The Beatles Get Back. That's on Disney Plus. That was pretty cool. I don't really feel like getting into that though. I'm not the movies guy. You can go to a different podcast for that. You don't want my fucking opinions on shit. Yeah, I don't know. I really just got on here just to figure, you know what? I gotta throw a fucking podcast out there. You gotta stick what you're doing. Oh, there's another one. I'm gonna give a shout out to I was just giving that advice out to somebody, and I usually don't do that shit on Facebook. You can go on my Facebook. I barely talk to anybody. Like, I'll put some shit out, but any social. Dude doing his new podcast, R Banks. He started on Anchor, so go check him out, R Banks, and go see if you, something you like to talk about. Like, maybe you're into what he's into. And I don't have anything up in front of me, like I said, so I'm not gonna sit here and be like reading you titles and everything. So what else is there besides life and the never-ending spiral of shit we live in? My air's on. It's just bothering me. My air's on. My fan air. The air fan. Yeah. I can hear it in the background. So, like, when I'm done and I'm editing this and I'm like, oh yeah, I keep forgetting to turn that off. Or I'm like, fuck. The fan, oh well, I'll throw some music behind it. Oh shit. You guys don't understand. Usually, like a podcast, you don't want music in the background playing. You know, you got that little dum 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 while I'm talking. It's like, you know, something to kind of like boom 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 boom. The fuck was I going in here for? Oh, get my cigar. Yeah, this is a weird podcast. Who knows? Who knows? Whatever I come up with in the week. I think I talked about rock climbing. I don't know if I'm adding that in there. Like, I started getting into rock climbing and how that's fucking weird. Then I got into space and spiritual shit. I'm all over the fucking place. Well, you wanted it. You wanted the full fucking package. Oh my god. So, I don't know. I'm so inconsistent. My consistency is so bad with podcasting. It's like either a 20-minute podcast or hour podcast. 30 minutes, 10 minutes. And I still gotta come up with the first episode. So this might be it. Who knows? I don't know. They kept saying that. Who knows? What about life? Maybe I should take my sneakers off my pillow. No. Yeah, man, so listen to this fucking shit. Dude's good. I'm gonna skip, like... You hear that?
This wasn't planned. I'm spitting facts from a real world scan.
I'm spitting facts from a real world scan. I like some of the... Like, I listened to about 4 or 5 new rappers today, people I've never heard of, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. And some of these guys are popular. I'm like, why? What are they talking about? Like, I'm sorry, like, some of these guys just coming out, they're like, I'm talking about this, talking about that. It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. What are you talking about? It's like, walls, balls, over here, all. Y'all come to there, and we all brawl. Y'all fuck, y'all. Like, dude, it's like you're just putting similar syllables and nouns together, and hopefully it comes out clearer. But you're just the mirror of yourself, so don't touch yourself just yet. I could still put you to bed. Shot in the head, you're dead. From your mirror self perspective. See, I've always liked to write poems and rap and shit. So maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll write a fucking... I don't think I've done one in a while. Like a rap, but I can't rap like freestyle. If somebody asked me to freestyle, I'm like, yeah, I could probably get a couple bars in, maybe 1 or 2, and then I'd be like, I don't know what to do. Do, to, through, boo, shoo, choo. I'm like a beetle. That's all I really got. But if I could write it down, yeah, I'll fucking, I'll destroy it that way. I don't know what it is. Like, I can probably stand up with the best of them when I could write it down. If it was like a beatbox, a freestyle, any kind of box, yeah, you're gonna destroy me. I just said I can stand up with the best of them if I could write it down. Wow, yeah, I'll stand by that. Stand by me when you're not strong. I can't say I can't sing, can't rap. She packed my bags pre-flight. See, I'm into all different kinds of music. You actually can go and see all my music because Spotify just did that rap thing where it's the best music, your favorite music of the year, wrapped into like 100 songs. Mine's is up there. It's public. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can go see it. It's pretty cool. I was listening to it. I was like, yeah, this is good. This is good stuff, buddy. This is great. Incredible stuff. So, that's what I could do. It would take too long. I was gonna say I could write this, go to Audio Lab, write this rhyme down while I'm doing it, and then let you guys hear it, but, yeah. Alright, stay tuned. I'm gonna write this down, and I'm gonna throw this over. I don't know what the fuck this was about. Who knows? Just rambling on. Hopefully, you'll get a decent flow from it. Let's see what I can do with it. Let's name it Who Knows. And we'll just go with it. Till then, peace out for now. Jimmy James. And like always, take care of yourselves and one another. Okay, I don't want to tell you the word, so that's why I want to see if you guys can see where I'm going with this. Imagine you're in court. What kind of judge would you like on your case? A disinterested or uninterested judge? I hope you choose the former, while an uninterested judge would be yawning and flicking through their phone. A disinterested judge.
Hey, this is... If you heard it this way, would it still be the same?
Shut up!
Would it still be the same? So I'm calling this bit, If You Heard It This Way.
Alright guys, I know I didn't finish that all, but next I'll be coming up with a podcast in 8 through 10, and then If You Heard It This Way, I got that in the works. What do you think, Giggles?
Yeah.